This is the Finesse Media Podcast.
We're going to keep this thing going. As mentioned, family business. Welcome back. Another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 4. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media. And just like last week and every week, I'm bringing you something brand new. But this week, man, I got someone brand new, someone that's been finessing the game, that got the same DNA that I have, the same bloodline. So welcome to the podcast for the first time. My cousin, I will say to everybody that's watching this episode, make sure you know that this is the youngest entrepreneur in the state of Minnesota. So make some noise and welcome to the podcast for the first time. Keontae, what's up, bro?
Thank you. You know,
that's what's
nothing
up.
much.
What's been up with you, man? It's been a minute since I seen you in person. The last time I saw you, we were in Chicago celebrating the homegoing of our late aunt, Nita, man, who I always rock every episode. So as a family, we're all in this together, man. But before Chicago, we kicked it in Dallas, Texas, as we kicked off the first family reunion. What was that experience like for you as being one of the youngest, siblings there in Dallas? What was that experience like for you being in Dallas, seeing all your family?
Well, I like it. Me personally, I like every family reunion because, it's a chance to get to see all of your family together in one area, and sometimes you see family members that you haven't seen before. So, it's a time, get to know your cousins, your uncles and aunties. So, I like it personally, to see more people, and it's out of town. So it's somewhat of a vacation.
Yeah, we had a good time here in Dallas, man, but we're turning it up in July of this year in Minnesota. So what can we expect? The family, we're coming to Minnesota for the second annual House Family Takeover. Keontae, I know that you and your crew is going to make sure that the older generation and that my generation have a good time. So what can we expect coming to Minnesota this July?
I think more so like a lot of fun, like attractions, like there's a lot of stuff here not a lot of people know about that, like, you have to actually be here to know, like, how it feels to personally do it. I don't think people think of Minnesota as a fun place because, it's not somewhere on the radar for a lot of people. But I think it's going to be pretty fun, especially for people my age, because I'm actually going to be home and able to show people myself, like, what there is to do around here.
That's what's up. No, I can't wait to come to Minnesota. I haven't been to Minnesota in a while. I'm glad we're coming in July because it's crazy snow time in the winter. So not trying to come then. But growing up in Minnesota, because you're not your cousin, but your mom, which is my first cousin. So shout out to Audrey Ponkin. But growing up in Chicago, she and I was, but you were growing up in Minnesota. What was that like growing up in Minnesota for you?
Personally, growing up in Minnesota was regular because, that's the only lifestyle I've lived, but it was pretty normal. My mom always had a stable income, so I wasn't like ever, in the point where I needed like any extra assistance. School was pretty fun for me. I had went to gifted and talented education, so, it was a little more higher tier. So it introduced me to more educational purposes other than like other schools that I had went to before. So me personally, I liked it. I'm still loving it. I'm still here,
Yeah, still there, still finessing the game, which takes me to my next question, man. You created a fantastic line, and you've done something before that I purchased from your line, Trending Mindset. But you started this phenomenal brand, Trending Mindset. So talk to my viewers about Trending Mindset and kind of what that is.
All right, so Trending Mindset. At first, it was I was gonna start with Know Your Worth clothing, and like it was like I always had the TM, and it had no meaning. It was like just my name at the time, and then as time progressed, I started to think like, what would people think like TM would stand for, So I had to think of like a way to come up with a way that I had already had, so it'd be original already. And I was just brainstorming, and I'm like, trending mindset. But I'm like, what does trending mindset mean? So over time, I had started to think of a meaning for it. And the meaning is really like, nowadays, everybody has a trending mindset. And by trending mindset, I mean, if this is popular, everybody wants to do this. If this is popular, everybody wants to get this. So therefore, I was just trying to make a clothing line that was popular, so everybody wants this. So basically, everybody with this mindset is only because it's trending. Nowadays, you see people only like stuff because everybody else likes it, so they want to follow the trend. So that's why I came up with the trending mindset.
Absolutely. And as a 17-year-old entrepreneur living in Minnesota and that has this way on social media, that's right. I mean, you see that people are trending, they're sharing, and they're kind of what we call groupthink. It will be what you're saying in my generation, we would call that groupthink. And that's essentially what that is. Everybody's following the trend and trend mindset. But you got some really nice clothes. We're showing them as I talk to you. But these particular clothes, you have them for men, women, young boys, girls. What's your target audience, and what do you hope to accomplish with this clothing brand?
Well, actually, my target was really people in the sizes from small to large, extra large, and XXL. But in the near future, like very soon, I'm actually looking for like more little kids, like probably like ages 1 through 8, because little kids is where it's at, and people want to get their kids something, and parents are the most reliable buyers, if anything, and that's why like my first like target was people my age, and then as time went by, I'm getting older, so older people are going to want it. So then my target started to like grow as I started going along with the clothing line, because at first it wasn't only for my age. It started off as just for my age. But then after that, I thought about, oh yeah, grown people might want this. And now I just thought about the new idea to think of like little kids, because, everybody has kids now. So everybody wants to buy their kids something, it's easier for purchase. It's easier to get,
That's good. That's good. No, that's a good mindset, pun intended, to have. Trending mindset. So what motivates you? Because again, being a young teen and having so many distractions, again, we all have them. I mean, whether you're a teen or whether you're a full adult with kids, we have these things that keep our attention away from staying focused, such as the cell phone and the internet and things of that sort. So what keeps you motivated?
Me personally, it's just the times that we're in, like, I'm not going to say money buys happiness, but it definitely plays a part. And, when you have a way to make money and that it's beneficial for not only you, but people who are also wearing it, then it keeps you striving, especially when you see people wearing it. It just makes you want to, like just today, I actually just seen someone outside wearing it, like not outside my house, but like a couple cities away, and I didn't even know who they were.
Dope.
Like I just did it. Like I didn't even know who they were.
Amazing.
And that's like what really like strives me to keep going when I see people wear it. And I just like seeing different people wear it.
That is amazing. No, and I'm sure that was a real good feeling to see somebody rocking your gear from afar, and for somebody that you don't know. That is certainly amazing. But what makes you stand out? I mean, trending mindset, as you mentioned, is come from or birthed from the idea of following what's the next kind of thing. But what stands out for you or for your brand? What would you say makes you stand out?
I feel like I stand out because me, myself, I have a creative mindset. So if I feel like this thing isn't working, I'm going to switch on to the next. And I can easily do it because I always have a new blueprint at the back of my head, regardless of the situation. Like this right here, I literally was sitting at home and I was like, I need a new, like see right here, it's all these.
Oh
right
man,
here.
I like that. With the
thought
detail.
about it, I'm like, I need me a new, like, design. So it literally took not even a whole 10 minutes for me to come up with I just needed the font. And then I was just taking off from there. It's just like anytime that I sit down and put my mind to it, I get them out of the way. As soon as I put my mind to it, I can do it. And I really feel like I stand out because if I need a new design, if I feel like this is getting old, I can switch easily with no problem.
That's what's up. And I like that hoodie too. So for people who's listening, he's wearing a hoodie from his own brand. But for those that's watching, I just want to do it again. If you can stand up and give the viewers a little bit of that shot of that again. So that's Trending Mindset. at the top, and then at the bottom there's pockets, and it also zips from the top and bottom. So for those who's listening, but for those who's watching, you can already see it. And I'm rocking with the blue too, cuz I love the blue. Shout out to my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma. So I love that you implement this blue in all of your trending mindset gear. But each and every week on the Finesse Media Podcast, Keontae, I ask my finesser, which is somebody like you or someone who is you that's finessing the game. So again, thank you for joining this episode and chopping up with me tonight about your brand. But who is that person for you, Keontae, that you would say that's finessing the game?
Actually, it's someone who's actually a little younger than me. It's two of my, they're not really close friends, but two of my friends that I went to middle school with. They also have clothing lines, and they're going crazy with their clothing lines. Like, they got new designs after new designs after new designs, and like, it's like they always have a new logo, new design, and it's just like they make sure product is like back to back to back to back. And I don't know, it's just like they got the game down packed. Like, I'm
shout them out. Shout them out. Who are they? What's their name?
It's Street Raised and Half Evil. It's just people around my age. They're 16 and one is 17.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we'll continue to support that brand too. And man, when people who are on this podcast, Keontae, that's finessing the game, I truly appreciate you for taking the time out because you're so busy doing so many different things. What's next for you? Are you going to tap into television? Or because really, you have a great frame for television. You speak very, articulately. So what's next for you?
Right now, I want to work on like stacking up the product and then making me a website so I could get it more out there, more national. Cause I want it to be nationwide. I don't want it to just be local. I want everybody to be able to get it, cause I get some purchases that are out of town, and then I have to go through the shipping process where I have to make the hoodie. Then I have to find the address. And, sometimes people don't text back around the time when I feel like I need to get it done. Sometimes they don't send the right info. So like, I just wanted to, get a website done so I could just like ship it out from there. It'll be way easier than, like taking the purchases through text message.
Cool. I'll talk with you offline, man, about some different ways to get that product streamed well in terms of manufacturing and getting the product to people in hand where you don't have to touch the product. So I'll talk with you offline on some different alternative options on how to get that happening. But Keontae, again, sir, thank you for joining this podcast. Let people know how they can keep up with you, how they can support the brand, how they can follow all that you got going on.
You can support me on Instagram as Trending Mindset Clothing, and that's just my Instagram. And then on Facebook is Trending Mindset Clothing also. And the way you can keep up with me, there's messages on there and there's shops on there. You can scroll through. There's some items posted already. Not every product is posted. Like, this item isn't posted yet. I'm not sure, but I could get that on there by the end of tonight.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Anything that I left off the tape with Keontae that you want to tell the people?
I think I already mentioned it, but like I said, if you have any children, soon I'm coming out with kids clothing, and they'll be way higher quality than
that's what's up.
Right.
That's what's up. Well, Keontae, man, continue to finesse the game. As my blood relative, man, I support you 100%. I'm super proud of you, man. And trending mindset goes right in hand with somebody that's finessing the game. So I appreciate you, man, for taking the time out to speak with me on this episode on the Finesse Media Podcast. You've been watching and listening to another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 4. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media, and I'll be back next week with something brand new. Peace.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing us to be able to have this meal. Bless the hands that prepared this meal. Oh, Heavenly Father, bless the individuals as they leave here today. In your name I ask. Amen.
Amen. This has been another edition of the Finesse Media Podcast. Join us again next week for the latest news from HBCUs. Special guest